G'day guys and welcome back to your English Aussie. Today we are going to go to episode 3 of reviewing Premier League players' FPL teams with Anthony Gordon's FPL team. Anthony Gordon has not had a good start to FPL so far. He has had a few issues with his team, and that was shown by game week 11 of 36 points. As you can see, I am back and recording from Sydney this week. It is nice to be home. I am unfortunately having a terrible hair day, as is with my Anjuna Beats cap on. If any of you guys are a fan of Anjuna Beats, good music, get out there, listen to some stuff. 36 points for Anthony Gordon in game week 11. And to be honest, it could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for his transfer in of Bruno Fernandes, who picked up 17 points for him that week. He transferred in Bruno for Phil Foden in game week 11. And that really saved him what could have been a game week with 20 points. As you can see at the moment here, Anthony Gordon, 569 points. He's 4.9 million in the world, not having a good season. If we go on to FPL Game Week, which is a really nice way of looking at your teams, other people's teams, mini leagues, etc., and seeing how you're tracking against them. We can see even maybe how far away he is from the top 1 million. He's 80 points away from the top 1 mil. It's not been a good start. He has been actively playing. He's been making transfers almost every week. He's only got one transfer in the bank. You can see here. He's used his wild card and his free hit so far this season. We will go on to have a look at when he used them and the impacts. His name currently on here is as Johnny Drama, but as you can see, he is officially verified as this is Anthony Gordon's FPL account. He's in a league with some of the other Newcastle players, Willock, Trippier, Longstaff, Matty Target. And we might go on to look at some of their teams in future videos if you guys enjoy this one. At the moment, he's got 2.7 million in the bank. So there are things that, as we'll go through, we'll sort of give an analysis of what we think he can do from his team. To improve. You never know, Gordon might be watching these videos one day and maybe give him some help. And we'll look at when he used his wild card and his free hit. And you will see from his moves is that he somehow managed to find the worst possible moves with a lot of his FPL decisions. So if we run you back to Anthony Gordon game week 1, you can see he started without Salah or Haaland. Which is probably a cursed beginning for FPL managers, knowing that both Salah and Haaland had an incredible first 3 game weeks, and anyone who owned both of them at the time is probably doing incredibly well at the moment. If you owned either Haaland or Salah, you're probably somewhere in the middle. If you've made good transfers and done well throughout the season, you'll probably still be doing reasonably well. But again, probably still behind those people who owned Haaland and Salah at the beginning of the season. And trying to make back those points. So, yes, Anthony Gordon didn't start particularly well. First game week, 5.8 mil in the world. No Haaland or Salah. Had himself as captain, Bold, Cool, Isak and Lewis Hall, which is interesting from a Newcastle perspective. You can see that he obviously thought Lewis Hall was set as the starting left-back, as a lot of Newcastle fans did to start the season. And I did as well myself. I had Lewis Hall in my team to begin the season. Before he sort of shifted out of the team a little bit before regaining his starting spot recently. So Gordon had a decent game week 2, captaining De Bruyne for a 12-pointer, bringing in Palmer into his team for his 17-pointer. This was probably one of the few good game weeks Anthony Gordon had throughout the season. 46 points in game week 3, captaining Palmer, again missing out on big Haaland and Salah returns over these game weeks. If we just maybe have a quick look at some of Haaland and Salah's points over these game weeks, you can see in these first few game weeks, Haaland 7, 17, 17, 13 in the first 4. And Salah with 14, 10 and 17 in the first 3. And then after the first 3, he did decide to play his wild card in game week 4 and bring in Mohamed Salah, still leaving Haaland out, who did pick up I think it was 13-pointer in game week 4. So again, the wrong decision from Gordon to go without Haaland and into Salah, who managed to get 2 points in game week 4. And interestingly, you can see between 4 and 7, Salah didn't particularly have so many good game weeks as he did for the rest of the season. And if we go into Anthony Gordon's team, you'll see here he is, Salah game week 4, game week 5, game week 6, game week 7. And then he transfers him out in game week 8 for Son Heung-min. What a mistake that was. That was when, again, here he comes, 12, 10, 9, 14 in those 4 game weeks. So really a mistake from Gordon again. He's just finding the wrong times to own really those big 2 guys in Haaland and Salah. Really unfortunate timing. And he then, going on to game week 10, played his free hit in game week 10, scoring 56 points and having quite a good game week, 745k overall. But using a free hit in a normal game week is probably not what I would suggest for a lot of active FPL managers. I would say the free hit is best used either in a blank game week, which is often where I like to use them when there's only a few teams playing. Sometimes it can be not some of the better teams playing. And those are sort of the times when using a free hit is really useful if you don't want to shift your squad around. Or in a double game week where you want to target specific players and fixtures in a double game week, free hit is often a very useful chip to use. So it did go well for him, 56 points and 745k in the world. That's a reasonable game week. However, that for a free hit chip is probably not where you want to land up. You want to be even better using that free hit chip. Going into game week 11, like I said, he used one transfer to bring in Bruno Fernandes for Phil Foden and had what can you say about it? It was a terrible game week, really, from him. And I know this was a difficult game week for a lot of FPL managers. If you didn't captain really a Salah or have a Bruno Fernandes in your team, it could have been a difficult game week for you. Looking at his team, he obviously has 2.7 million in the bank, as we discussed, and 1 free transfer. And this is probably a very rare time that you'll hear me say I think it's worth using a hit to fix up this team, because there are a lot of issues really in this team. He doesn't have a Salah, he doesn't have a Palmer for these upcoming game weeks. He doesn't have Haaland, and he's got a lot of money in an expensive front line when there are a lot of really good cheap price forwards at the moment that are doing fantastically well. And he doesn't even have his own mate Isak in there. So with Newcastle having some good upcoming fixtures, I think himself and Shaw look good in the team. Gabriel's looking good in the team. Guardiola's obviously performing well in the defence. And then he probably has to have a look into Son Heung-min, Rodgers, Mitoma. And I would probably say maybe a Kai Havertz or maybe a Ollie Watkins. Although Villa do have some good game weeks going forwards, really the moves that you can make here, you want to be trying to get in a Palmer or a Salah to be captaining over the upcoming game weeks. The way that he can do that, obviously with 2.7 million in the bank, is a move from a Rodgers or a Mitoma. Probably it will have to be up to a Palmer to begin with. I don't think he really has the money at the moment to be going for a Salah. And the way to get that extra, probably 2.5 million he's going to need to get up from a Mitoma or a Rodgers to a Palmer is to downgrade either a Watkins, a Jackson or a Havertz to maybe like a Cunha, a Wissa or a João Pedro. So my advice for Anthony Gordon going forwards, get rid of Rodgers, upgrade him to Cole Palmer, who you'll be able to captain over the upcoming game weeks. and then look to downgrade a Watkins or perhaps a Jackson, so you don't double up on the Chelsea. I think maybe downgrade a Jackson to maybe a João Pedro, Danny Welbeck, where you can pull in about 2.5 million and then give you the funds to upgrade to a Palmer. If you don't want to do that, perhaps a Havertz or even a Watkins if you need a bit of extra money to downgrade. And then in future weeks, I mean, I'd consider even taking another hit to downgrade another one of your maybe Watkins, Jackson, or Havertz to again Acuna or a Danny Welbeck again, João Pedro, Wissa, whoever you're looking for in that cheap striker area, and then you could perhaps upgrade a Son to a Mo Salah for his good fixtures going forwards. I think that would leave you in pretty good stead if you had, Shaw, Gabriel, Guardiola, Palmer, Gordon, Salah, Fernandez looks really nice, and then maybe like a João Pedro, Wissa, or Cunha and Havertz or something like that up front. That would be really nice sort of team for the upcoming fixture run, and I think that would really help Anthony Gordon going forwards. So that is our review of Anthony Gordon's team for this game week. One of the other things that I'm looking to do going forwards is do a little series where I will do the FPL English Aussie versus Mo Salah each week, and I will give my opinions on what I think Mo's transfer should be, and we will see who actually performs better out of myself and Mo over those game weeks. I think it will be something that I'm looking to do from next week. He's currently sitting, and we'll bring up his team now. Just a quick note, guys, if you can, and you are enjoying the content, please subscribe to the channel. There should be a little red box that you can click to subscribe very easily if you do enjoy this content, and that will really help me going forwards to grow the channel and be able to produce more great content for you guys. Mo's currently sitting on 648 overall points. I'm currently sitting at 652 overall points. So we will be doing a series to see who can win over the course of the season between myself and Mo. And I will have some potential transfers that I will make for Mo going forwards. And I think looking at his team currently, I think they look reasonably well set up going forwards. Probably my transfers for him would be to look at taking out a Pedro Porro and going for an Ep.3 perhaps in the defence. If we go to FPL game week and have a look at how many transfers he has available going forward and what we would do, bear with me as this slowly loads up. So Mo currently has only one saved transfer in the bank. That's interesting. Looks like he maybe has already used his transfer this week. So yeah, he has only one saved transfer, and with the team that he has, I think my recommended transfer for Mo would be a Pedro Porro out to Nuri. I would say if we're looking at it for 1 week, probably go for Lewis Hall. But yeah, we will be going forwards and doing Mo Salah v the English Aussie for the upcoming weeks and see who ends the season ahead. Currently, I am 4 points ahead, so we will take that into account going forwards. But yeah, it will be interesting to see who lands as the main man. Will it be Mo or will it be myself? So again, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Please try to subscribe to the channel, really help me grow this channel, and also like the videos, really helps the algorithm if you like this, and we will do more content in this in this manner going forwards. If you do want to see someone specifically, or if you'd like your own team to get reviewed, please drop me a note in the comments. Let me know, and we can potentially start to do some subscriber team reviews going forwards in the future, and give my advice on what sort of transfers I would make and the strategy of the team going forwards. We can look over a longer game period. So yeah, please let me know in the comments if you're interested in that, or if there's anything that you'd like to see different on the channel. Open to some thoughts from you guys. Obviously, that's what I'm looking to base my content around, what you guys would like. Thanks again for listening to the video. Please have a great game week. Subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with a lot of my future videos that will be coming out, and a live stream this weekend where we'll talk in detail on the tactical analysis of a lot of the games coming up. Thanks again, guys. Have a great week.